Back in 2005, we got motorbikes, we got ATVs, we got fast races, we got slow races, we got falls, we got free ride, we got career, we have MX vs ATV Supercross Encore. Game back in 2005, coming back here in 2016, saying they added optimized graphics, some sound, also added about double the maps, and a little customization. Let's see if it really matters here up in 2016. Let's start with the review. Woo! We have National Free Ride, Supercross, Waypoint, and Rhythm Racing for the fun activities you can do. None of these are really new except for Rhythm Racing, and we'll check that out now. Rhythm Racing is essentially one long drag race with a series of bumps that are tall, medium, and short. And Rhythm Racing was fun once or twice, but it doesn't really make the game. It's not like, woo, Rhythm Racing. It's like, oh, Rhythm Racing's alright. And I gotta say, one of the only activities that's actually a joy to play is Waypoint. In Waypoint, you go around all the free ride maps, going waypoint to waypoint, trying to get there first. It's essentially a race that's totally off roads and you choose your own path. And for me, this was pretty much one of the only times I was having a lot of fun. There's definitely a lot of things you can do here, and you also have National, where you can go through more unique maps than the kind of boring basic ones. But it's still not too different, and you kind of have a really cool soundtrack, but it doesn't help kind of the same sounds and the same tracks over and over again. And then of course you have career mode, where you go against bot opponents, and you have the difficulties Rookie, Pro, and All-Star, and usually after you get a hang of the game and you're kicking the rookie's ass, usually you want to go Pro or All-Star. For most people, you're going to want to go Pro, or you're going to be 20-30 seconds ahead of your opponents all the time, and that's no fun. And we still have the abundance of tricks that you could do back in 2005, but I wish they kind of changed up the control scheme and made it to where tricks were easier to do while driving and a lot more fun. This is just kind of doing the same thing, and they're adding a few more skins on top of this game, and we're not really feeling it. There's plenty of professional riders to choose from, and bike upgrades, as well as graphic kits, handlebars, exhaust, tires, wheels, hubs, suspension, chassis, brakes, and number plates as well. There's no doubt that you can obviously see the graphics have been improved, but they're not improved that much, and there's a bunch of messes kind of everywhere, and you can kind of see it, like this for example, and there's a lot more. Right now, there's not a huge fan base for this game, but there's definitely people playing it, and sometimes you can find games, but sometimes I was waiting for 10 to 30 minutes at a time, and I don't mean for right now you see on the screen on Waypoint, on any other mode as well. You could wait for a very long time or only play with one other person, and that was horrible. And there was also a bunch of problems where I would get kicked out of the game, I couldn't even get into games, and things like that. Online kinda needs to be fixed. 25 minutes is definitely way too long to wait. I mean, I wouldn't call the online mode broken, but it's definitely pretty close. And right now, it doesn't have a huge fan base, and I don't know if it's going to have a huge fan base in the next weeks or so. And I can't guarantee on if they're going to have patches for all these problems. But like I said, Waypoint was the time I had the most fun in, but everywhere else it was kind of bland. I'm sorry, are you serious with Day 1 DLC and a lot of it too? Like, you have to pay for another free ride map and it's like $8? You can spend $8 on an indie game that's like 25 hours worth. Like, this is kind of ridiculous, and I hate seeing this in any game, AAA or indie, and anything in between, it doesn't matter. A few is okay and understandable, but this is, it's sad seeing this, man. I guess the game that I played as a child was not as great as I thought it was going to be, and I've been going through the score for about 20-30 minutes now, and whether I should really duck it down for throwing all that freaking DLC in your face and for what they have made, and I think I came to the conclusion of a 4.5 out of 10 here on Gameocide. It's sad to see that this series is dying and they didn't really take this one very seriously, but yeah, it'll get a 4.5 out of 10. Hopefully maybe one day someone will pick up the series and take it very seriously, and we'll have a good MX vs ATV game. But until then, we're gonna have this game here, which it was a huge $30 when it probably should have been maybe a $10 or $15 game, because it definitely has good content, or sorry, enough content. but it doesn't have really the specs that it needed, and not much has changed from 2005.